What's up, everybody? I'm Lennli. I'm joined today by Zigzag. Hello.
How's it going, everyone? What's up?
And it's been a while since I've done an English video on my channel, but we are today just gonna talk about the World League, our experiences with it. Just gonna go through everything, what our thoughts are, what we think the World Cup's gonna be like. Just a little bit like podcast style. We're just not gonna cut much, just talk about it. I think it's gonna be very fun. So yeah,
Definitely so.
you finished in 11th place. I finished in 16th place. Would you say you're satisfied with 11th, or do you think there was big potential to be further up?
I think there was potential to be 7th at most. I don't think I would have really placed higher. There's definitely a few series where I look back, I'm like, wow, absolutely throwing.
Yeah.
Just one series is all it would have taken. I guess one series and 1 point is what it would have taken to be above Streffen. So it does suck. But all in all, I'm happy with 11th because obviously moving's such a weakness for me that to be in top 12 was just really nice. Yeah.
Positive moving win rate, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's pretty
kind of
crazy.
speaks for the format, right? Duels format, you can just insta-guess pretty quickly, and it doesn't really matter.
I disagree, honestly.
Yeah, it does matter for sure.
Well, yeah,
But,
just like Blinky, where he has like a 95% win rate on moving or something, right? I didn't actually look what it was.
Oh, you lost to Kirania, so now it's down to 89.
89, okay. But 89% win rate is about right for the best moving player. So yes, insta-sending can help you if you have a lack of skill, but the players who are very skilled on moving, they will still win very consistently.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for me personally, I am disappointed with 16th because over the course of the entire World League, I was always around 12th, 13th, sometimes even solidly in the top 10. And I just bottled the last two weeks. So I'm only 3 points behind top 12. But the thing is, if I would have gotten top 12 because I'm in EMEA, I would have not qualified anyways, probably. I probably would need to be around 71, 72 points to have a chance here of qualifying.
Yeah.
So at the end, that's kind of a big gap that, to be honest, wasn't gonna happen anyways. But yeah, I just feel like the format really didn't suit me because I have the highest NMPZ win rate in the whole league, which also is kind of crazy. I don't know how. I don't know why that happened. But I won 14 out of 17 NMPZ games. So yeah, there's kind of a problem that it's only 17 and not 39. Right? Because if I played the others, then I would have probably also gained a few more points, and that would definitely make the difference.
Yeah, I definitely think I would be high if NMPZ was played every time.
Do you know how many NMPZ games you played?
Less than half, slightly less than half of my series.
Okay,
NMPZ.
slightly less than half, yeah. So pretty similar to me.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit in the boat where if the format was anything different, I would be top 12. Because we are both at 25 wins out of the 39 games, so we have a solidly positive win rate.
Yeah.
And 25 out of 39 would place us tied 7th with Strefan.
Yeah.
And I also win the tiebreaker against Strefan and you, so I don't know if the points are calculated differently or if there's always an NMPZ game played. I feel like there's a point to be made that I could have been higher, but I mean, at the end of the day, it is the way it is, and yeah, I feel like I also could have obviously performed better and earned my spot in this format. But yeah, it's still kind of it feels a little bit annoying to think about it.
Oh, definitely. Tell me about it. I know. Although no one was affected as badly as you, to be sure.
I think I just lost everything 2-0 that I lost basically. I have 3 2-1 losses. And I have the rest of the losses are 2-0. For some reason, whenever I lost the moving game, I also wasn't great in the no move. I don't know why, but I think it's a mental thing as well.
I underrated how much of an effect that would have because I ended up winning a lot of 2-0s and losing a lot of 0-2s.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be so much like that. I thought it would be easier to bounce back. But the thing is, moving and no moving are so different that sometimes it's hard to put yourself in the right headspace, especially after insta-sending like I would on moving. But yeah, I think the mental is big for sure.
I mean, and then again, like, I could also think about, like, if I had a better PC at the start of the World League, because my movement was so abhorrently slow because we had to screen share our screen, play on an external client, also have the camera running for our face cam, and all of that at the same time with moving was not, like, my PC just didn't handle it, and it was so slow. It like, when I moved a step, it would load the image for like 3 seconds basically until it was perfectly clear. So it was very tough to play moving at the beginning. I feel like if I had the better hardware from the get-go, then also I might have won some earlier games. But I mean, my win rate didn't improve when I got into PC, so
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I played pretty much the entire league on the same same setup, and I stayed pretty consistent as well, so I don't really have anything to say about that, but definitely, I mean, movement is contentious in its own right just because of how much it varies between internet connections and computers.
Exactly. I mean, and I actually have another question for you. Who do you think of the players was the biggest positive surprise?
There's a few that jump out. I mean, so the obvious answers would be Stefan Captain. These are the two who I don't think anyone would have put top 12 prior to the league unless they were like friends with them behind closed doors or whatever. Yeah.
Captain I didn't see coming at all. Like, I did a little tier list just for funsies before the league.
I remember.
Captain was in my lowest tier. I like didn't see him coming at all. Stefan I rated quite highly though.
Okay.
Like, I rated him like around the middle, like around my skill level, your skill level. So
I mean,
not 100% surprised about him, but Captain is he performed amazingly.
Was Captain not the number one rated for the qualifier though? I think he was.
Him or Clement?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Or maybe it was Clement, but
it was
top two.
one of the two. Yeah.
So I wasn't entirely shocked. I would say toward the end of the season, Pan was the biggest revelation, as like most improved. I would say. He beat a lot of high-rated players at the end to make it into
really well.
EMEA.
Yeah. I don't remember. Did you beat a lot of like the top 10, top 12, or did you mostly lose to the higher rated players?
Of top 12, I beat only Blinky, Finbar, and Captain. Yeah.
I beat 5 of the top 12. I beat Debray, Finbar, Stefan, Captain, and you.
I should have also beaten Harrier, but we had to reset the match, so that was I was so I was like 3,500 points ahead, and then we had to reset, so the points were all gained legit, and then he just couldn't guess on the third one, and then we reset to full health, and I was so tilted I just basically just rage lost, so it was very unfortunate circumstances.
I mean, that was probably one of the worst things they did rule-wise, because like obviously they have to make decisions on the fly, and in the past we have had it happen at some tournaments that those decisions are not super fair. During this World League, I would say most of them were quite good that they had to make in the moment, but that one I think definitely
it happened
it just stole you a point, basically.
It happened to other people earlier in the league as well, but this one happened so late, and I just assumed that this had been ironed out. And I was like, we're really resetting the entire thing. I was surprised.
Yeah.
But no hard feelings to Harrier, of course. I mean, like he earned his win when we did have to reset. I mean, it wasn't his choice, but I was annoyed at the way it was run there.
Also, I think I wanted to mention that Finbar surprised me. I didn't think he would be top 5 in the league. Definitely not. I know he's a really, really strong player, and he performed really well in LAN tournaments as well. But I just didn't expect him to be up there with not really fighting with Radu Consus Blinky, but above MK is a surprise to me.
Yeah, I'm not that surprised. I mean, I feel like Finbar is like similar to us, but just better at moving, so that's kind of where you end up with an extra kind of 10 points-ish.
That's true, but his moving win rate is actually not that massive. He just has 73% no move, which might be one of the highest in the entire league.
Yeah, I guess that comes from having very good fundamentals on big countries as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think the moving map, the no move map was really big country based, which I liked, but somehow it didn't translate to wins for me. As it should be my strength, but I don't know.
It's because if it was small countries, it was quite baity, and I feel like you don't maybe deal as well with like bait rounds like that, perhaps.
Yeah, not 100% sure, to be honest. But I don't know. That's just what happened. Okay, other end of the spectrum. Who do you think is underrated in the final standings? Like, who do you think was just super unlucky or is better than their placement says?
First choice. I mean, there are some obvious ones. First choice would be Swan Gambit for me. I think Swan Gambit is actually a world class
one of the obvious ones,
no move player. I got the feeling he didn't probably work that hard. I don't know if that's true. I don't know or not. But I feel like he kind of took the foot off the pedal a little bit. I mean, he beat you, but
I feel like he didn't really try as well.
A lot of times it felt like maybe not trying as much as he could have. A Kent, I would also say. I also rate Kent pretty highly. I think he's an NMPZ player, so obviously kind of screwed by the format a bit. And then the biggest one's Kirania, APAC champion in 29th.
Exactly.
Definitely not where he
should
be.
I feel like the two unluckiest people in the league are Kirania, because he actually was like, if you account for multis, I saw like a stat. If you account for multis being out, he had like the 8th best average score overall in the rounds. So
29th
top
result,
8, and he ended up 29th. So he got like screwed over by round order, by just bad luck and whatever. And I don't know how that happened, to be honest. But he's way better than his placement suggests, I think. And the second unluckiest player, in my opinion, is Malfunction. I don't know if you saw Malfunction's matches, but
a lot of
every time I feel like every time I saw her on the World League, she just got multi-merchanted. Super annoying as well.
That's kind of true. Yeah. But, I mean, there's definitely quite a few people who are lower than they should be. And I would actually count myself as someone who probably got, just with my moving win rate, probably overall pretty lucky, actually.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think because like my average distance on moving was really far, and I did some round 10 merchants. For example, if you want to go back and watch one, Skill Issue, I round 10 merchanted after getting basically flawless, and same with Yarnek. So there you can watch 2 times I got super lucky.
Yeah. Okay. What did you think about like the qualification system coming into the league? Because they invited to this league this year, and I think they should change it a little bit for next year. They invited basically everyone from last World Cup. The only people that were left out were the group 6th places. So only 4 people from last World Cup didn't make it in. And the others came from open online qualifiers where you could apply, and it was basically chosen on ELO if you have the chance to prove yourself. And then you have to play some seeds with a camera. And in the end, the best people got chosen. Except if too many people of one country already made it, then you got basically overlooked. So, for example, in the Americas, we had Ocean Man coming in through this qualifier, and we had
Dallin missed out. I mean,
we had Ocean Man and Dev making it in through the qualifier, and Dallin and Logan were both like in the top, I don't know, top 6, top 8 for Americas, so they would have made it in. But the spots instead got handed to Skill Issue and Fly Me with lower scores because there were already too many Americans in the league.
And they ended up as the bottom 2. Well, they ended up as the bottom 2, so it depends. Like, it's interesting. I think that at some point, I mean, I do like, because I'm a fan of Counter-Strike, and Counter-Strike often gives teams placements in tournaments based on regional stuff that they definitely don't deserve in terms of skill. And I'm a big fan of that because, especially in the terms of Counter-Strike, regions are kind of off to themselves, and you never know what's kind of brewing, and often they don't have a chance to practice with other teams due to ping and stuff like that. So I definitely think in Counter-Strike it makes sense. Does it make as much sense in Geoguessr? Maybe not to the point where you should be. Maybe not to the point where you're excluding people who objectively did better like that. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent, to be honest. I could see. I don't hate the decision, but it does suck, of course. So yeah, I don't know.
I personally think I would rather have seen Lennli and Logan in this league.
Yeah.
Because like, to be honest, we already had a Brazilian representation with Orlando, and Argentinian. There's not really a community, so the only thing why they got chosen basically is to market Geoguessr in a broader market, like have more people basically watch the World League, because there's different countries involved, right?
Yeah.
Not only Americans. So if you have someone from, I don't know, if you have nobody from Poland in the league, then people from Poland aren't going to watch it as much, for example.
That's true.
So I agree that you have to take it into account somehow, but like, I mean, we had a Brazilian. There's not really anybody watching from Argentina, and Flyme is not even really. He lives in France, and he lived there his whole life, as far as I know. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that system wasn't amazing. Could be changed for next time, but yeah, I have to think about it definitely.
That's true. I don't know. It's to me, I can see the positives and the negatives. In the end, the devs decided to draw a line in the sand, and I think there were bigger issues with the league, but it does suck for people like Dallin and Logan for sure.
Exactly. The bigger issues in the league. Let's talk about them.
Shall we?
What in your opinion, if you only could change one thing about the league, what would you change?
If I could only change one thing about the league, it would actually be game order. So I would actually keep everything as it is. Well, no, I wouldn't. Mm-hmm. But if I'm changing one thing, I would keep everything as it is, but I would have player 1 picks, player 2 picks, just randomly decide someone's a home team, away team, whatever. Someone picks, and then whatever is the third mode left over is the third game. I think this is better because everyone gets to play their desired mode, whereas like people like you and I who maybe prefer NMPZ don't get shafted as much. And it also means that theoretically game 3 is the most competitive because it is the neutral ground, so to speak. So I think it makes for more exciting series as well.
Yeah, I think that's one way to do it. I think the other way to do it would be to play the NMPZ game every time.
Yeah, you can do that too.
And have it as the last one.
Yeah.
So play all 3 modes every time. Because actually in the qualifiers for the league, NMPZ was weighted the most. So if you are good at NMPZ, you made it into this league.
That's true.
Because you had to play seeds of every mode, and just your total score in all seeds counted.
Yeah.
So obviously on moving, nobody's gonna miss the country, but on NMPZ, everybody has a tougher time. So if you are good in NMPZ, you basically performed better in the qualifier. So why have it the other way around in the league? It makes no sense to me, but yeah.
It's just disconnected from the actual, the actual way that, especially like the grand finals happen, like best of 5 with 2 movings in the first 3 games. Like, okay, why are we letting people qualify based on NMPZ skill? Doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why you have people like
obviously
V89, like Gingy, like, I don't know. Well, I guess specifically people who qualified through that, like V89, like Pan, Kent. Like, what have you, Sadzu,
Kent,
lower down, Kent, yeah. What can
you do? Yeah. I mean,
it's
Clement,
a disconnect.
for example.
Yeah, it's a disconnect.
Yeah. I mean, I think let's talk about the elephant in the room, round limit and multipliers. I think we are both in agreement that the fact that there's still a round limit is insane. Like, from the first World Cup onwards, we have always asked for the round limit to be excluded, and they are still not doing it. Like, basically every player is in agreement that the round limit takes the competitiveness out of the game, takes the fun out of the game, because in round 10, you're not making your best guess anymore. If you are down points, you are making a overly risky guess somewhere where it doesn't make sense, and you insta-guess somewhere. And if you are up points, you just hedge between like a lot of possible places. You don't make your best guess in either scenario. And also, it is harder actually for the viewer to understand it. They're always saying, "Oh yeah, it's easier because it's only 10 rounds." But no, I always see in chat, why does he lose when he's closer? Like, how do you think this makes it better for the viewer? Like, it's beyond me. It's absolutely beyond me. I just don't understand it.
Okay, so I was discussing this with Toby the other day. Toby has a podcast. Shouts to, the name is Toby, who's been one of the casters. But when I was discussing this, I said, I'm in favor of getting rid of the round limit entirely. However, if you want to have it during the league, so be it, in my opinion. Like, in my opinion, still the better player wins almost every time.
That is true.
With some, it evens out with some exceptions. Okay, but having it in the World Cup, and especially beyond the World Cup, you maybe forget the group stage, but the actual stage games, like the quarterfinals, the semifinals, the grand finals, there is no excuse for having round limit there. That is actually beyond stupidity. You just look back at the grand final 2023, Consus versus Blinky, and Consus wins on round limit, and it's just the most anticlimactic, stupid thing I've ever seen. So I'm actually not so dogmatically against round limit, but it has no place on the stage.
It is actually the single thing in the world that makes me the most angry. Like, I'm not an angry person. I think you can't make me angry easily, but round limit still existing is the single thing that makes me angry on a day-to-day basis.
Well, the thing is like it's very unanimous amongst players and amongst viewers.
Yes.
So and there was ostensibly the the attitude that the devs would change things that we wanted to be changed, and that was not changed, and so that is justified anger, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. There's one argument for it, which is for the production company, so they know the games can't take too long, basically.
Yeah. Well, that
and you can plan games better. But during the World League, we saw none of the spots ever went over time. Mm-hmm. I don't think they would have without round limit. And other than that, we saw how easy it is to switch between games. Like, it's fine. It's not a problem. And for the majors, actually, majors are gonna be like 2-day event with the EMEA majors is a 2-day or 3-day event where only 11 matches are played.
Yeah.
Only 11 best of fives, or 12, I think. 12, actually.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse to having round limit there. Like, there's no way you're not gonna make 12 matches in 3 days.
Okay. A few things. Number one, multis exist, right? Multis are solving...
Yes.
You have two solutions, both of which are not ideal. Solving one problem, which is the fact that if you had no way of limiting a game, if you have two really good players, it can go on for a long time, or two evenly matched players, it can go on for a long time. So, one, multipliers exist, and they're already not ideal in themselves. And two, like, it is just such a, like, climax, like, destroyer. Like, it's crazy. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like you would have such insane, cool games without round limit, with like top 5 players in the league playing against each other. Like, I tell you, you'd at least have a few going to round 14, which would just be legendary. You know, that would be so cool.
Yeah, exactly. The thing with high multis in this game is that they are not fair, but they make it actually exciting viewing.
Yeah.
And round limit doesn't do either. Like, doesn't make it fair, and it doesn't make it exciting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think, what do you think about if you remove round limit, capping the multipliers at like 5x?
Yeah,
because that's a 10x multi, I don't know, that seems like a little bit excessive to me.
Yeah, I feel like what you do is you brand it in a way so that it's like, multis cap at 5x, and when you hit 5x, it's called overtime, and it's like, okay, multis are capped, exactly. And it's like, okay, now it's and maybe
overtime.
Yeah, maybe even like the rounds become 30 seconds, just so things move a little quicker or whatever.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Wait, you're cooking. Damn, you're cooking so hard right now.
Yep.
What?
So it's like boom, round number 10 overtime.
Wait, that instantly
30 seconds per round, 5x multi. Bro, yeah.
Guys, hire Zigzag.
I've been saying
the
it.
World Cup team.
Anyway,
hire him. That is actually that is so much content,
bro. It's like, think about that compared to round limits, though.
yeah.
It's not even.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. One last thing I wanted to talk about regarding like the league organization was the amount of matches. Was it too much for you? Was it too many weeks? Because I have heard some people say that they like it was a little bit too long for them, basically.
So I think it was too long. I think what you could do is you could keep it the same length and have like a break in between, like a month break in between. Or you could just stack it closer together.
Yeah.
So that like you're playing like 4 games a week, whatever. I found having to constantly prepare for only 2 games per week for 20 weeks in a row quite not. I wasn't burnt out, but it was like a unnecessary stress in my life when it could have just been.
I agree,
so much more
and also the fact that I couldn't plan like weekend trips and stuff like that.
Yeah. This is
because
one
of
of
the
those
league.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit too much, too long. Like, maybe put it like 4 games a day. You don't need to stream all of them if you make them available afterwards, like you do. But yeah, maybe 4 games a day, or maybe also have a unstreamed Saturday where people can play if they can't play Sunday or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But in general, I like the concept that everybody plays everyone.
Yeah, me too.
You could also do it in a seeding manner where everybody just has to play like, I don't know, like the current Champions League format kind of seeds the teams against each other, and you only have to play 8 matches, but there's like, I don't know, 30 teams or something like that. But you only play 8 matches, and it is kind of representative, the table that comes out of it.
So it'd be like a Swiss system where you play people who are
a
a similar level to you, and you keep playing people who are similar to you, or what?
That is actually also possible, but that is
Swiss,
that's not how the Champions League works. But that is also an idea that could be considered, yeah.
Yeah, like chess tournaments or something.
Yeah. Okay. So, next thing would be the majors. Majors will be coming up, and these standings can change because of the majors. So, I don't know if you know, but I'm just gonna go over what I prepared, which is the most likely brackets for the majors. So I'm just gonna open the majors, the brackets here. If they seed it like they should, like it makes sense, then this is the bracket that we would end up with, basically. So for EMEA, we have Blinky and Consus as 1 and 2, and we have the first 4 having a bye in round 1.
Yeah.
So I would probably play Harrier game 1 if they seed it in a, I don't know, sensible way. And Consus round 2 if I beat Harrier, which is tough because that probably I probably have a 50% shot against Harrier. Lost 2-1 against him in the World League. I would say he's a little bit better at moving, and then a little bit worse in no movement NPC, but just like very slightly.
Sure.
So I feel like it's a true 50-50 there. And then I have to beat Consus, which is difficult.
Yeah, Consus in best of 5, that's not particularly pleasant.
Yeah. And these are the points that you get. So if I want to make it to the World Cup through EMEA qualifiers, then I need to get 3rd, because 5 points wouldn't be enough for me. So with 15 points, I have to beat Harrier and Consus, and then either lose to Debray, Captain, or Pan and win the 3rd place game, or go to the finals. So and then I would make the World Cup.
Yeah,
it's not impossible, but yeah, it's pretty tough.
It's tough. I could definitely say so. My path is much more pleasant.
Yeah, you're probably gonna play Leroy or Spagat in game 1, and yeah. You only need to win 1 match to get points.
Yeah, basically. And if
out of 2.
I imagine
you have 2 chances
to
get 15 points.
I imagine if I end up losing my first game and playing the 3rd place game and getting 10 points, I think 10 points you get for 3rd place, right? In APAC. Oh, that
15 even.
15, right. Well, that would be enough to get the World Cup. So I only have to win 1 game.
Yeah.
Unless there's crazy upsets in EMEA that go really badly for me, I think.
True. I mean, if 4 people pass you from EMEA because of this, could be possible. Like, give Captain the 5 points, for example.
Yeah.
Or someone like give Finbar the 5 points.
Yeah.
Then he's above you, even if you end 15th.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, Pan, Mada, and Clement win the whole thing, and yeah, could be possible that you still
extremely unlikely, but you just never know.
Very unlikely. Yeah.
So yeah,
do you have the brackets open right now?
I do.
Okay, so who do you predict making it to the top 3 in the Americas?
Okay. Okay. Top 3. Okay. So Fao Jinji, I would take Foul. I think Foul is better under pressure, and yeah, Gingy is crazy dependent on the day. I gotta say, Gingy destroyed me in the World League.
100%.
But then sometimes I watch Gingy, I'm like, what is he doing? So, I mean, often I watch Gingy and I think, what is he doing? So, to be honest, I think Gingy could just come in and destroy Foul, but I doubt. I would take, my money would be on Foul. Mu Orlando, I think Mu is a better player,
consistent.
But Mu got very unlucky at the last Americas. You never know. Like, Orlando can certainly win.
No, the thing is with Americas, like you have two players, Fao and Orlando, which always have like the LAN buff.
Yeah,
when playing on LAN.
That's true.
They are just way better when playing on LAN. Fao the only person to reach the World Cup semifinals twice.
Yeah.
When nobody expected him either time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Orlando as well.
Well,
really
Blinky reached them both as well, but that's a bit different.
Oh yeah, obviously. Obviously.
Okay, yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, Orlando, again, you never know. Okay, but then let's say that my prediction is that the Canadians advance. Then I would say Radu should beat Foul this time. I think Foul beating him twice in a row would be pretty crazy. And then MK
I give
versus
that a 5% chance of happening. Yeah. I think Radu goes through to the final.
No, I think with two moving games, because Foul's so good at moving, I think it's more than 5% for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
But MK versus Mu, that's very even in my opinion. Actually, I think Mu is.
I actually take Mu in a best of 5.
Best of 5. Yeah, that's possibly Mu. I don't know. I think it's 50-50. I would actually call that a true 50-50.
Yeah. No, I agree. Just my gut is telling me Mu, but he might get unlucky again.
Okay, my gut would say MK, but very even.
Yeah.
So I would say.
I mean MK.
Yeah.
I feel like MK isn't grinding anymore.
Yeah, he's not practicing as much as he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems that way.
I feel like he doesn't really care as much anymore.
But I still think MK Radu final 2, and I would say Radu wins.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean I agree. I think Radu wins it. And I think Mu, MK and Radu are the ones that take the points, so nothing should change in the standings for you.
Those are my
if that happens.
Those are my favorites too. Maybe Foul.
I start with APEC then, because you are playing.
Sure.
I actually think on a best of 5 Sheena wins it, but of course we have the problem that Sheena in front of a crowd hasn't been able to deliver so far.
Well, Sheena's never played in front of a crowd.
Okay, yes, but in a big tournament.
LAN.
You know what I mean?
LAN,
in a real world.
At LAN, yes, but like I'm just saying, like crowd could even be another level.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, true. It could be another level. In the Tokyo Tower, in his home country, in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
I actually think that Sheena is not gonna win. Although I think he should be theoretically.
On paper, he is the best, but yeah.
I would say winner of this will be the winner of you versus Lero. Sorry, Spaghetti, but I don't think he could. To be honest, Spaghetti is also not bad. But I just think Lero's better.
I agree. I would take Lero to win that one. But like Spaghetti is a bit of a giant slayer. He does win against good players. True. So yeah.
I mean, good for Lero that he's not top 12 in the league.
True. True. Yeah, I mean, as for me, I would take Eamon over Feneb. I would take Lero over Spaghetti. In Sheena versus Eamon, I think Sheena, but I honestly think it's closer than people would expect.
Yeah.
And me and Lero is extremely even, I would say.
It's a coin toss. Similar play size as well.
Feel it's very even. Yeah, I would want to predict myself, but I have no idea.
Did you beat him in the World League?
He beat me 2-1, but it was it was actually a blunder on my part. I mean, I'm not saying he definitely played better, but I mean, so the World League game was interesting because I destroyed him on moving. He destroyed me on no moving, and then NMPZ was even until I blundered. Yeah.
Okay, let's do the EMEA ones quickly because I only have like 3 minutes left.
Sure.
I think Blinky Kratzu. I hope for Blinky Kratzu quarterfinals because we have seen that before last year.
We have seen that before.
And Kratzu won.
Yeah.
So Kratzu won last year against Blinky. He's one of the people who know how to beat Blinky.
Yep.
So that would be my dream quarterfinal here.
That'll be good.
And if that happens, then everything's up for grabs. I'm not gonna lie. Like I can see Debray winning this whole thing.
I mean,
I'm gonna go for the crazy prediction. I say Debray wins the EMEA.
I like predicting Debray. I've actually predicted Debray as perhaps winning the previous World Cup. Now Debray got eliminated in the group stage along with me, but
well,
you know, like, and last EMEA as well, he should have won. If you guys recall, it was a situation that caused Debray not to win.
He got screwed over by an incident.
Yeah, by DDoS attack actually. So.
It was actually a DDoS attack.
So
where he would have won on a guess and against Finbar, and then they had to replay the game because the server got DDoS.
For our new fans, our new German fans at home, you know, like Consus and Blinky both went out in shock fashion up to that point. So Debray was like the last favorite left in the tournament. He should have won the whole thing. Although I'm sure,
Yeah, but then Topotic won.
Yeah, then Topotic won, I guess.
I hope we see Topotic for a wildcard. Not gonna lie.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. And he's very strong.
Although I don't think he's been surprised. I know he didn't play the league because he didn't want to commit as much time, which is totally understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But committing for only a World Cup weekend, so maybe would be possible.
Could happen. I can definitely see that.
All right, so I'm predicting Debray. Who do you got winning EMEA?
I would say that Blinky will win EMEA.
Okay. I mean, it's obviously the reasonable prediction.
Yeah, I think Blinky is. I mean, I beat him, so he's beatable.
Yeah.
But I think Blinky is the best player in the world right now, and I would take him.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like my path in EMEA is kind of unlucky for me because like I've lost to Harrier and Consus in the World League.
Yeah.
And I've won against Captain, Debray, Marder, Stefan, Finbar, Clement, Kratzu.
That does actually kind of suck.
Only lost against Pan, Blinky, Harrier, and Consus. I beat basically everyone in Europe for some reason, and all on NPC. I think all of them were 2-1s.
Okay. Well, you got to get him to NPZ then. You got to get him there.
Guess so. It's possible, but Kirania ran simulations, actually. I can show you that.
Mm-hmm.
Kirania ran 100 simulations based on like our moving, no move, and NPC percentages and whatever, and just simulated the majors. And it gives me a 9% chance of making the World Cup. So a 9% chance of making top 3, which I think is reasonable, because I have to beat Consus and Harrier, which is not super likely.
It does suck, just being in EMEA.
Yeah, being in EMEA for majors is obviously harder. Obviously, these two are easier, but then again, I think in that case, it's fine. Having more of a country diversity or continent diversity for the World Cup is fine.
Yeah, compared to the league, it makes more sense. Yeah.
I just wish, honestly, I wish they would have more than 16 people playing in the World Cup, like last year, 24.
Yeah, that's something that no one's really been talking about, but is actually like kind of the big thing that makes everyone's chances so low, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's so much more competitive. But yeah, thank you for joining Zigzag.
Thanks for having me.
Fun to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I hope you guys enjoyed watching in English as well. And see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.